Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to some more Jagged Alliance 2. Today we're going to be picking up as our Squad 2 here assaults the Chitzena S.A.M site, newly upgraded with some beefier equipment. Gumpy here, for example, sporting one of the HKs, just like our primary squad. They're going to have...
There are enemy forces present in this sector.
Fewer characters with them. I think Razor and Gumpy are the only two that were able to get those, but everybody's doing pretty well on equipment. This SAM site's always kind of an interesting fight. As you can see here, it's a very small sector with the majority of it being taken up by water. There might be some kind of interesting things you could try to do here by sneaking along through the shallow water, but it's really risky. Being in water when you're shot can lead to accidental drownings, and I'd rather that not happen. Another thing we're going to see is that basically as soon as we load in, we're going to immediately spot enemies. Again, largely just due to the size of the map. Now it also means that as soon as we load in, our militia is going to go to town on these guys. Wow. Oh, don't hurt the fence. Okay. One thing I would like to see is the fence line remaining mostly intact so that this place is relatively easy to defend later on. So an assault through the main gate is the primary goal. Hopefully the militia get on board with that pretty quickly. They lost sight of the one guy spotted over here. They saw him just when he shot and then lost him later. Mentioning the shallow water earlier, if enemies are in it, you can basically target their legs for some pretty easy kill shots, as it tends to down them, and being aggressively downed while in water tends to lead to drowning more often than not. So Razor, with his amazing athletics, is actually going to be able to get really close here. Awesome. Oh, come on. With 5, he doesn't have enough to crouch.
Present.
Well, Gumpy is not in nearly as good a shape. And with a name like Gumpy, you probably could figure that out for yourself.
Roger.
Then pull Ira up, her crouch down, and then Dimitri. Get to right about here.
Yes.
And finally, Manuel. You are also quite the track star. I'll have him go a little bit further back so that he does have the opportunity to crouch. I don't think Razor's going to take any incoming fire. We do have that
the army.
militia.
I knew we'd see them sooner or later.
Woman. Not exactly a militiaman, but they are a little bit closer, so I imagine they'll take most of any incoming fire. And they'll be able to return a little bit themselves. Okay. Good covering fire there. Hopefully these guys see a bit of their AP sapped away. And at least a couple of our guys should be able to attack right away. Okay. I'm thinking this should be a pretty easy battle. We've got, you know, full squad of mobile militia to back us up here and just kind of provide the overwhelming firepower. And this is like a dozen guys or less, so this isn't going to take too long to mop things up. The advantage this does provide is that it means that the only remaining SAM site is going to be in the Queen's capital city, and we will be basically free to just roam anywhere else we please.
One beautiful mess here.
Yeah, you do. With a helicopter. And that's going to provide us with a powerful ally when it comes to movement throughout the country. Alright. Take 2 shots at this guy. Oh, come on now. That's not what I'm needing from you. Dimitri up here. We are in a little bit of danger from hand grenades being both this close and this clustered. Might be something I want to keep in mind. With him already being shot... Oh, if I crouch down, I can't see him anymore. Okay, I can. Just not quite at the right angle whenever I tried that. Let's pull up to just like right about here. And then what I'd like to see is maybe some really good automatic weapons bursts. Okay. I wouldn't necessarily rate that as really good automatic weapons burst, but it wasn't too bad. And then everybody's going to be in place to be shooting next turn. Okay. Maybe they won't need to be shooting next turn, depending on how deadly our militia prove on their own turn. Ooh.
Whoa, too close for comfort.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that. That was a little bit close for you there, Ira. Okay. Doing work. Awesome. Wonder what those guys are going to end up doing, if they're going to all try to shuffle their way around, if they're smart enough to maybe take another approach into the base, going around through the water, or if they end up in some kind of silly AI pattern where they just run back and forth. You never can tell. Obviously, as mentioned in the last episode, it's always possible to just like sneak up to the fence line, cut a hole right here, come inside. If you're going in stealthy without all of these reinforcements, that provides a pretty solid strategy. Cut a hole in the fence right here, sneak up through the hole in all of the light, get to the building, get on top of the building, move over and just sort of rain down death on all the guards up at the main gate. Alright, we should easily be able to sort you out. There we go. And then Razor. Take 2 shots on this guy that are going to be both very well aimed. Let's actually make this one a headshot. Ooh, clipped him.
Ooh, yeah! What's up?
Alrighty, and then Gasket. Poor Gasket.
Present.
His marksmanship has suffered. While every other character has been able to spend plenty of time training it, we often have him tasked. Oh, jeez, Dimitri. With
You got my ear.
focusing on things like repairs and not being able to do his own marksmanship training. But we did pretty well there.
Turkeys.
Oh, no. So that would be an elite. Yep, that's what elites do. So he arrived on the scene, immediately cutting one of our militia down. Hopefully, though, there's just one of him. I mean, he's not Superman or anything. There is just one of him. We have a whole lot of mercs right here. He's in, I'd say, fairly high light. Not exactly standing under a street lamp or anything, but I'd say it's a little bit brighter where he is than where we are. Yep, they're doing the AI shuffle over there. Not finding anything.
You got my ear.
I'd say the AI basically has the problem of any AI, it has trouble planning ahead. So it can take really good... Oh, God.
Ready.
It can make really good choices as long as... Oh, that was nice. Hitting the groin and falls down in pain. Razor is a little bit sadistic, and so he tends to take very angry shots at the enemy sometimes. Alright. So the AI, basically, as long as the goal is immediately in sight, the AI is very good at achieving that goal.
You got my ear.
But when things start requiring like a lot of forward thought and planning, things break down a bit. And what that usually leads to is these AI units having trouble figuring out, like, well, what am I going to do in 5 turns? You know, well, obviously, if you're way over here, you need to get to where the action is. They don't quite figure that stuff out as well as you might want them to. Oh my god. You shoot as close as possible. We're not playing shuffleboard here, Gumpy. It's not get as close to without hitting the enemy as possible. You're supposed to try to shoot them. Instead, of course, we plant a bullet right in the dirt at his feet. I'm sure that was very intimidating. I mean, it's got to be scary having rounds impact right in front of you, but I would prefer less scary and more deadly out of my bullets most of the time. warning shots are not authorized. That was a one of my posts.
Present.
There were signs throughout the perimeter that would clearly display that deadly force was authorized, that warning shots were not authorized, which was supposed to let you know that, oh, again, groin, down in pain. Oh, that's awesome. Does a good job of sapping AP out of guys. It was supposed to let you know that nobody was going to shoot a gun to let you know to stop.
Yes.
The first bullet that you heard was likely a bullet that was going to hit you. Yep.
Yes.
And just generally speaking, that is always a responsible choice when firing weapons. Warning shots have that nasty tendency of if they're not aimed to hit someone, then they're just sort of loose rounds that could hit anyone. Okay, and finally, Gumpy, you're like way off on your own, aren't you? Let's get you over here and out of AP. All right. Nice. Maybe a little bit of stealing our glory, but otherwise pretty nice. Okay. Come on, guys. Yep. We're fiddling around every which way. Hopefully, maybe one more turn of this, and we can just switch back into real-time mode and go exploring on our own. I wouldn't mind that too much. You know, and with that in mind, let's just get kind of everybody online in case the enemy decides they would like to show themselves, and then we'll pass right away. More than likely, our militia is going to spend the turn doing nothing very effective, and we'll just be able to start moving in real time into the base after this. That would be preferable.
Ready.
There we go. Now,
Yes.
one thing I'm thinking
Good
is...
show.
Oh,
The army! I knew we'd see them sooner or later!
Yes.
alright, one thing I was thinking was we get Dimitri changed, and he is now dressed as a...
You got
elite,
my ear!
which should generally provide him with a little bit better disguise, as no one is likely to say that his gear is too good for a typical army unit. Not quite. I think I'm going to hold him for one turn there, though.
What's up?
Just because I'd like to have enough AP that he could get in and get a shot off before anybody does anything. Okay, and if... Oh, come on. I think one of the other problems the militia really has is figuring out how to chase, how to reason things like, well, if we saw a guy over there earlier, it's not like he disappeared. They're movie guards, basically, you know? What was that sound? Oh, well, he's gone now. And then you just go back to doing whatever. Maybe those aren't movie guards. Those are definitely video game guards, though, right? Like, you're playing a stealth game, the enemy gets alerted by something you do, and then you just hide, and they're like, well, I mean, he's not here now, so we might as well change nothing about the way we've been doing this and just go back to wandering around. A more realistic approach is, had you seen a random person, suddenly the guards would, like, triple in an area. You would find every off-duty unit suddenly mobilized to... Alright, he's having none of that. Suddenly mobilized to assist. Things would get real bad real quick. So maybe video games don't want you to have to deal with that. That's another thing they ever really seem to point out. You know, recent Metal Gear Solid release been fairly popular. If you follow anything about video games, it's hard to have missed it. But I haven't played it myself. I feel a little overwhelmed and intimidated by the point we're at in the Metal Gear Solid series to be picking that up now. But I have watched some Let's Plays and some live streams of it. And, you know, one thing that's never addressed when you attack these compounds is, like, if this is the current guard roster, what happens when these guys go to sleep? Like, there's gotta be another shift. Like, they have to also exist. And generally speaking, they're going to be right there. So, like, when we're attacking a compound like this, what you would realistically expect to find here is a contingent of people standing guard. And an equal, if not greater number of people that would be off-duty, like maybe in this building, probably asleep.
Yes.
It's 9:45. They wouldn't be asleep. But you get the idea. Doing something that is not standing guard. Now, what that means is, when you attack the place, all of those guys are not just going to be like, well,
Sure.
that's not our job. Like, we're not on duty right now. We'll just go back to playing cards or
Present.
something. No, absolutely not. Like, they're immediately going to gear up.
Ready.
And you're going to deal with not only the guys that were patrolling, but suddenly 2 or 3 times their number. Now, sure, if you attack and
Yes.
you do the stealthy thing and you alert nobody,
Will do.
you're not going to have to deal with those guys. They're not exactly super observant and wandering
What's up?
around. But you never know. You could, like, run into somebody going to the bathroom or something, like,
You got my
totally
ear.
ruining your plans. Somebody just, like, steps out when you're not expecting it and heads to a latrine. You never see that. There's never any of that. That's why I'm not allowed to design video game levels, by the way. I would model them after, like, actual military compounds that I had served at, and I would be like, all right,
You
you know,
got
we
my
had
ear.
18 guards around the perimeter, and then
Yes.
full contingent of, you know, like another 56 guys that were off duty, but also inside the compound at any given time.
Yes.
And nobody wants to fight that. Nobody wants to go like, all right, I'm walking around, I'm slowly but surely eliminating everybody on guard duty, and then, oh no,
Present.
tower number 7 spotted me, and suddenly I am greeted with like an extra
Ready.
5 times the units that I've been fighting so far.
What's up?
Sometimes, I guess, a little bit of break from reality
You got my ear.
is necessary to keep things fun. But I couldn't do it, you know. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that I had staffed that post with so few people. Granted, maybe the 12 guys in here, maybe they are all the
You got
ships.
my ear.
Maybe
Ready.
whoever's in charge thinks that they can hold an entire guard shift with like 4 people. There are only 3 beds. That should raise some serious eyebrows, right? Like, there's only 3 beds on the entire compound. So let's assume that we're hot racking, meaning you go on shift, the guy coming off shift is sharing your bunk with you. And that only leaves room for 6 people. You probably expect like a commander and probably like a platoon sergeant or sergeant of the guard role
Ready.
to maybe have separate areas dedicated to them. I guess that could work. Who would staff a compound this large with only
You
6
got my
people
ear.
is a little mind-boggling, but you never know. Stranger things have probably happened.
Yes.
This is very well lit over here,
Yes.
which actually worries me quite a bit. Although, Dimitri, you are still doing the
What's up?
inconspicuous thing right now. So let's continue to capitalize on that. We'll get... Oh, Gasket can see him. Okay. Can't hit him, but he
You
can
got my
see
ear.
him. Nope, nothing out of Ira. Need some
Present.
more scopes, huh? Gumpy, I think you're going to be our prime choice. Yeah. Okay. Not bad odds to hit.
Ready.
Not great, though. And Razor, we'll get you back out here. You can help out next turn. Get turned, crouch down.
Yes.
Manuel actually doesn't have optics or night vision goggles, like optics of either kind, on his gun or just for the wear-in variety. So I didn't imagine he
You
was going to
got
be able
my
to
ear.
do too many amazing things. Likewise with Ira, this is actually out of her range, and she can't see
They're
him.
here.
But a little automatic weapons fire can often be good for the soul. Alright. We're going to wait for another fairly ineffective turn out of our militia. I can't be too abusive. They helped out. They definitely... I mean, they eliminated both of these guys without me doing anything. And then at the gate, they took out like half of them. They provided some nice bullet sponges for us when we were walking up there. We'll never forget militiaman number 32 that's dying over here.
Present.
Nobody's visible
Ready.
anymore. Well, Razor, why don't you crouch and sight in?
Yes?
Don't see anything. I'll have Dimitri run up. It's right here. And I'm just going to pass the turn. We'll see if any of our militia want to get super adventurous with it. I doubt it, but I do think that if the opponent shows himself again, that he is probably going to shoot at them before me. And I'm pretty okay with that too.
Yes?
Nope. Uh-oh.
Who make
Dimitri.
that noise?
Dimitri,
He's
get out in front.
good.
Please get out in front. Okay. Oh, he immediately saw through the disguise. Immediately
All
didn't
enemies
matter.
be dead here.
Oh, he didn't. Okay, he puts it away. Gotcha. Alright, so that takes care of that. We'll go ahead and grab all our gear and another SAM site down
got my ear.
without too much muss or fuss. And Shift R. There we go. Awesome. Everybody reloaded. That went pretty smoothly,
What's
all
up?
things considered. You have some lockpicking
We
ability.
make it to place of rockets. There will be lots of army in this place.
There was lots of army.
Woo-wee!
There's not lots of army anymore.
Woo-wee!
Okay. Some sunglasses, some camouflage. So we're moving
Woo-wee!
Gasket around here with a
Gotcha.
lockpick. His high mechanical skill.
Woo-wee!
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
So steroid use runs rampant here, apparently. His high mechanical skill makes
Gotcha.
him awesome at picking locks. And somebody that can do it is pretty much a necessity. Also,
Yes?
Dimitri, why do you think you still see an enemy? Why does this guy keep glowing like he's active?
What's
So
up?
many strange things
Got
are
it.
happening right now. Okay. Yeah, not another bunk in here. So clearly there are only six, at most, 6 people that can sleep here. Unless they were doing some crazy stuff with like 3 people sharing a bed. I could see that. You're only authorized to sleep like during your 8-hour period.
Shoot!
That would be awful.
Shoot!
Nothing worse than that feeling of
Shoot!
crawling into bed and like it's already warm from somebody else sleeping in it. Ugh.
Shoot!
Excuse me? Do we have to... Yeah, we hit the lock.
Shoot!
Oh, come on. Gasket. Soften this baby up.
Shoot!
Maybe we just need a little wiggle room for our lockpicks.
Shoot!
No?
Shoot!
This is significantly more trying than I thought it was going to be.
Yes?
Let's get Dimitri
What's
in
up?
here.
Woo-wee!
Finally. Okay. A test of his skill. A couple of night vision goggles. Ooh, some very nice body armor.
Woo-wee!
A substantial amount of ammunition.
Woo-wee!
And some more ammunition. Whether or not it proves to be anything in a caliber we would want or need, probably not. Gasket does have 5.56. Other than that, probably not seeing anything there that I really need. I will take care of the looting of everybody. Oh, also that got a key. I probably could have looted the key and made a lot of things easier on myself. But we gained some mechanical skill out of it, so I can't really complain. And
Will do.
last but not least, we'll just gather everybody into the center here with no injuries, and that going significantly smoother than our previous assault. We don't really need to hang out here at all. One of the other, to me anyway, one of the other huge advantages of assaulting with mobile militia is we've already got our militia trained up. Like, they're in the sector with us. We don't need to do anything more with that. So we are pretty much good to just move on right away. We'll likely have these guys heading down into Grum, while as soon as our A team gets finished patching up Grizzly and Bull, these guys are going to be moving on towards the city of Alma. That, however, do I want to go to Alma? I just thought about that. I could go to Balim. That might be kind of interesting. Also, that's weird. Why is my airspace still all silly? Do I have to do something at these SAM sites to update it? I did not remember having to do that the last time. Okay, if anybody in the comments wants to let me know what is up with that, what I have to do to get the SAM site to not have this as a no-fly zone anymore, feel free to let me know. And I'm actually considering, there's some other things we could do here, right? Like we could head to Estoni, we could pass down into Balim. I might head to Balim. I feel like I've fought Alma so many more times than Balim from playthroughs that I've done where maybe I just did Omerta to Drassen to Alma right away. And so it's something I've seen quite a few times. The storylines in Balim are a little bit fresher for me, and that might prove a little bit more exciting from my point of view. But I'll figure that all up, figure that all out off camera. That was a sentence that was way too hard for me to say. I'll do that one off camera. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to subscribe for more videos every single day. Leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other episodes, and I will catch you guys next time.